All right, let's talk about truth. Well, hello everybody. I hope you are doing well today. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, do all the things, leave comments down below. Let's just have a conversation when it comes to the idea of truth. I had an opportunity the other day to put on social media some questions about truth, and I had some wonderful conversations with various people about this idea: is truth subjective? Is it relative? Or is it absolute? And it was amazing to me that honestly, no one person I talked to in my DMs and everything had the same definition for truth. And that's because truth, the word truth has went under some kind of metamorphosis over the past few years. And now it means something so very different to so many different people. And so that, I think, is the problem. I really don't think that we live in a world full of very, very evil people who are trying to hurt each other. I think that we don't agree a lot of times because we don't always have the same definitions. And so I want to give you kind of what a lot of people think truth means, and then I want to tell you what truth used to mean, and maybe we need to find a new word. I don't know. But here's the thing. Nowadays, people think that truth is your subjective, authoritative opinion. So what that means is you have my truth. This is my truth. What that means is this is my point of view on what's been given. This is my point of view on the situation. That's what truth means nowadays. What it used to mean was truth was the same thing as a collection of facts, a collection of unchanging facts. And one of the questions I had was, is truth subjective? In other words, does truth change from time to time? You know what most people told me? Yes. Most people said truth changes. Well, can I tell you that that's not true? There is facts and things change as new information comes to light, but until a fact can be changed, it is true. And we have to live our life. We do live our life that way. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they were like, no, all truth is relative. All truth is changeable. All truth. I said, okay, well, let me ask you this question. Is 2 + 2 4? Yeah. Then that means that's an absolute truth. No, it's not. It's like, okay, well, you tell me what it would take for 2 + 2 to not be 4. Well, if all of culture and all of society and everybody all got together and decided it would change. So, okay. But 2 + 2 would still be 4, right? That would still be 2 of something plus 2 of something would equal the doubling of that, right? So it would still be true. Even if your terminology changed, the truth would still be the same. Here's another one. Who was the first president of the United States? George Washington. Was he the first president of the United States in the 1800s when he was elected? Yes. Was he the president 50 years later? Was he still the first president? Yes. Was he the first president today? Yes. 200 years from now, when they are doing study of the United States in its beginning, will George Washington be the first president? Yes. Well, here's the thing. That means that is an absolute truth that is not changed by the passage of time or the revelation of new material, right? It is an absolute truth. It doesn't matter if you agree with his politics. It doesn't matter if you found out that he had slaves. It doesn't matter with anything. He can't be canceled. Now, you cannot agree with him. You can trash his reputation, which, by the way, the whole slave thing, he freed them upon his death. It was in his will. But the thing is it doesn't change whether or not he was president based on your opinion about it. You can say, well, I don't believe he was the president. Well, that's great. Doesn't change that he was, right? So that was a truth, and it is a truth that is absolute no matter your opinion. So here's the thing. There are truths, facts, that are changeable because we have to go with the amount of information we have. But there also are some truths that it does not matter your opinion about it. It is true. Now, you can conspiracy theory this all day long. This is not a philosophy class, right? Yes, you could say that there was some kind of time warp or in the infinite universes, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm talking about common sense. Common sense, that's true. Now, therefore, in the world of the changing things, there are some definite truths that don't matter on however your opinion is. For instance, my name is Brandon. That is an absolute truth. It has been my name since I was born. It is not a subjective truth. It is not based on how I feel about it. It is how I was born, right? So there are things like that. And here's the other thing. What do you do with truths that can change? For instance, someone was like, how can you believe the Bible when it changes? Here's the thing. It doesn't. It has been the same thing. Do you know that almost every generation there has been information that has given us more clarity about the Bible, but then people have said, you know what, the Bible will not last our generation because those people are dead now. The Bible is still here. One that I love is throughout history, there's been times when we didn't always have all the facts that the Bible claimed. And so people would say, well, the Bible can't be true because, and later found out that it was. For instance, before people thought that the earth was round, the Bible is already talking about how God sits on the circle of the earth and he hangs the earth on nothing, space. This was during a time when nobody believed that God's word said it. There was a time when people did not think that King David was a literal king because they couldn't find any historical, like physical evidence. And they said that he must have been an allegory made up until just a few years ago. They found an inscription where they had the son of David and some of the property that he owned. How about the next one? There was a situation where they didn't think that Pontius Pilate was real. Couldn't have been real because they didn't have any information until they found some engravings that had Pontius Pilate, king and ruler of, and it went from there. So the Bible continues to show itself to be true. And so here's the thing. What we've got to figure out is we've got to figure out our definitions. Because I think a lot of times we get into arguments because we're talking about two different things that has the same word. So maybe this should be how we should look at this, okay? Everyone has opinions, and that's okay. We can all have opinions, but we have to realize that our opinions are subjective based on our knowledge and experience. It is not truth. It is not, I think we need to be careful with the phrase our truth. We need to be careful with the word truth because we equate truth with facts. And that's the thing is that facts don't change. And so there are some facts, and then our opinion can be wrapped around and subjected to those facts, but those facts don't change. So is truth relative? The answer is, if your definition is authoritative opinion, then yes, it is relative. But is truth absolute? If you're talking about unmovable facts based on the evidence available, yes. So I guess really you could say, is truth relative or is it absolute? The answer is yes. Depending on what you're talking about. And so once again, the idea, this is true. I base my life on it. I base everything I am on it. I change, this doesn't change. My experience with this may change, but this doesn't change. This is the truth. Let me ask you the question. Do you have absolute truths in your life? If so, you can build your life on those. Don't build your life on objective opinions because opinions, like everything else, changes. Only facts remain the same. I hope that helped you just a little bit today as we dive into God's Word, have a biblical worldview, and become more like Jesus every day.